Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another discussion video. It's another one of these. Well, people will be upset with my opinion, but guess what? It is what it is. Listen, I'm ready to talk my piece. I just got approved for my apartment, and they want literally like my left leg, my left, like, they, listen, they want a lot. So, you know, I'm going to, in a way, vent my, well, not vent my frustrations or anything like that. Not frustrations, but, you know, I'm going to come with it today. So I better see some good stuff, all right? But we're back to this thread. People like it, people hate it. It is what it is. What this thread is about is, people that I said people, players speaking about either Tail Worlds or Bannerlord or just stuff around that matter, and then developers responding to them, and I give my opinion of it as well. Like always, I'm going to link it down below, and let's get to it. Alrighty, so, like always, I'm going to link like whatever part came before this. We're like on part 5 or 6 or something like that of this thread. There's just so much replies, and there's still so much more. So, yeah, be ready for that. All right, so first we have as a player saying, I completely understand if there is nothing you can say on this subject because you may not be able to say, and expectations need to be managed due to possible unforeseen circumstances. But I hope this provided a little of an explanation for perhaps some of the animosity being felt in the forums. I come read and post here because I love what Warband is, and I have a lot of fond memories leading to probably an unhealthy level of excitement for Bannerlord. Okay, here's the thing before he responds to this. A lot of the frustration that I've seen that comes to the Bannerlord forums is from Warband players who love the game so much and wanted this game to be Warband 2.0. And one thing that if you have been on this forums, the devs have stated, this is not that. This is literally not that. They do not want this to be Warband 2. If they wanted it to be Warband 2, they would have called it Warband 2. And I know this is going to upset people. I know people are going to say, oh, but there's still some good stuff they should add that is from Warband to Bannerlord. And I agree. I agree with you. I think there's stuff like Feasts should definitely be added to the game. You know what I mean? Hopefully they do. I have no idea if they are going to, but I hope they do. There's definitely stuff that I wish that was in Warband to be in Bannerlord. But at the same time, I'm not going to become so negative and go on the forums and voice, my frustration through all this emotion. Like, why isn't it this? Why isn't it like that? You know what I mean? I'm going to look at it. I'm going to see what they have to say, and I'm going to formulate my opinion of it. And I'm going to try to do that in a mature way. So that's what I'm trying to get at. You have to be more, kind of in a way understanding. The devs have even talked about stuff that I don't even know if they can talk about. How stuff gets rejected, how this and that. A lot of companies don't talk about that. You know what I mean? A lot of developers won't disclose that information to the player. Like, hey, we brought this up to the higher up and he rejected it. You know what I mean? Like the devs in other games, there's no way they say that stuff. You know what I mean? Devs don't even talk on forums in other games. You know who does talk? The community support only, because they're trained to talk to the community in a way where everything sounds good and jolly. So I think that's where, to tie it all back, I think that how can I explain this? This thread doesn't help too much of explaining the animosity and stuff like that, because it's just, I don't know how else to explain it, because it's not well worded. You know what I mean? The people who want to give criticism, they do it in the wrong way and makes them look, just angry and frustrated. When if they actually wrote it out in a a respectful way, it would be taken more seriously. And it wouldn't be looking, and it wouldn't look like some troll or some person who's just angry all the time posting it. If that kind of makes sense, right? But yeah, let's see what the dev has to say. The dev states, I think the confusion here is that, to me, what's written there and what people associate with Mount & Blade franchise does not work as a general vision statement, which tend to typically be even more abstract. What you seem to be asking for is a detailed description / feature list of the final product, which isn't something we are currently intending to share. And you guys want to hear something? That's their right. They don't have to share with you exactly what's going to happen. They don't have to share with you exactly what the game's going to be in the finished product. I don't care about the people who are like, oh, well, we bought it in early access, then, we should know what the finished product is. No, you bought it in early access because you wanted a sneak peek of the game. You wanted to play it early. You wanted to play it as it developed. You wanted to be part of the conversation, which you are. So, don't get too entitled here thinking, you know what I mean? I bought the game in early access, so I deserve the full blueprint. You know what I mean? But let's keep reading. Naturally, this isn't to say that some further clarification isn't possible. For example, like noting that in single-player priority thread that the alley owning mechanics or something on the edge. There are more urgent priorities. It is stuff on the list, but I can't yet promise that it will make it. There it is. Logic. I don't know how else to explain it. I was asking for an example of a vision statement from another title/company to get clarification of what you were looking for. Maybe you could share one. I'm sorry for laughing. It's just like what I've always said. This is exactly what I've always said. Look, it's like the people who say, we've got all these patches and we've never gotten any solid. What do people say? They're like, we've gotten all these patches, we've never gotten any significant changes, any significant this, and then like in that same statement, they never mention a single concept in their head that they think is significant. They just say, we haven't got anything significant, but they don't reiterate on what they see as significant or this or that. Yes, some people do it, you know what I mean? But a majority don't. And it's funny in this situation because, they want something more from the company, like I guess the vision statement or whatever. I don't think he's talking just about this person right here. I think from previous replies as well. But they want this vision statement, they want this and that. But they don't provide an example. They don't try to go a little bit further in detail. They just try to give like a very narrow request and then expect the developer to just put it all out there. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But yeah. And then we have another player saying, thank you and sorry it took so long to respond. I had to wait until a break during my day job. No worries, everyone's got a life. True. Then you have another player saying, I don't know that there is a ticket for collision problems because it's not something that can be ascribed to a single bug like, say, the sound bug of Doom or fuzzy armors. However, there are threads on this topic in the suggestion forums. Okay. So you list 2 threads. Okay. Dev responds, this isn't my area, so I don't know if it is working as intended or if there is some sort of problem. I do not know that combat in general continues to be improved upon, but there may be more urgent priorities than this. I can forward the thread to the people needed, but that's the extent of what I can tell you on this matter at the moment. Okay. He'll forward it, but he doesn't know much about it because that's not his field. And then we have another player saying, as far as mounted units go, I wasn't even talking about horse archers. I was talking about melee units with swords and other weapons with a relatively short reach that just cannot hit units on foot consistently. Okay. Wait. I was talking about melee units with swords and other weapons with a relatively short reach that just can't hit units on foot consistently. That's not a collision issue. That just means the length of the sword isn't long enough. What do you mean? What? Am I reading this wrong? He goes, as far as mounted units go, I wasn't even talking about horse archers. I am talking about melee units with swords and other weapons with a relatively short reach that just cannot hit units on foot consistently. That's not a bug. That's literally because the weapon is not long enough. You don't have a long enough weapon, so it doesn't hit the people on the ground because it misses. Unless I'm reading this completely wrong, that's what it sounds like. The dev response, fair enough. If there is no support ticket for it, you may want to open one. I can and will mention it separately, but this ensures it will be in the system. Attack in media alongside the report of any details such as sample units/weapons that consistently experience this issue would also help with the process. Okay. So maybe he's talking about that mounted units are just not equipped with the right weapons. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Which in that case, yeah, a support ticket would probably be the best way to go. And then he continues, the player, as far as progression goes, leveling is part of it, but another part is the gear. I have observed that armors are not as effective as they should be, and some suggestions were posted on how to address that. Yeah, there's been a lot of armor threads, definitely. And the devs have replied to Armor Threads before. But yeah, it probably does need more work. And dev responds, it's a nice topic, and I will forward to the relevant people. Cool. They have another player saying, I'll remove the uniqueness part from the OP. Okay. I don't know what this means exactly. But dev responds, your OP is a summary of what you think, at least a portion of what the community wants. My thoughts hardly invalidate that, nor are they decisions/commitments for the company. We have properly processed single-player, multiplayer statements and videos updates for that. Okay, I don't know exactly what this conversation is about, but okay. And then we have another player saying, is this an internal to our world's list, or are you talking about the line in your statement that says captivity balance of player choice? Anyways, thanks. I'll change that in the OP to indicate that it is the current priority. Oh, he's the guy who posted this thread. Okay, he's the guy who posted this thread. Cool. That makes sense. Oh, they're just talking about some changes to the original thing. That's fine. And then we have another question. Not a question. Yeah, this is kind of a question. From a player, or the original poster. He says, obviously, TerraWorlds needs to avoid overextending themselves, but at the same time, in what world can a company of 100 people not be able to commit to offering the same features of a company of 10 people managed 10 years ago? Bannerlord being Warband plus graphics plus Siege was an absolute lowest expectation for the game, and yet all of these years of development, it's not even that. Okay, well, I don't mean to be that guy. But in this statement, you're doing that same thing that a lot of other people are doing, and the thing that I talked about earlier in this video. Bannerlord being Warband was not the intended thing. I don't know how to explain this. The devs explained it better a long time ago. I don't remember exactly when it was, maybe a month or two ago. They didn't want this to be Warband 2. And like I've stated, I think that a lot of the features in Warband should be in Bannerlord as well. I agree. I 100% agree. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But to say it's a clear copy, or it should be a clear copy, if that's not what they want as a developer, then that's not what they want. I'm sorry if you think, the players should run 100% of the companies, and that the players should have 100% reign of exactly what should be done to the game, but that's not how it works, unfortunately. It isn't. But let's see what the dev has to say. I don't share the opinion that all features from Warband must necessarily be in Bannerlord. Yes. Nor do I think that we should make promises that may be broken, or alternately force us to drop or under prioritize more important work. Yes, logic. Look at that. For example, for me, improving organic skill progression comes before any feature that allows players to exchange money for skill points. True, you gotta focus what's on important first, and then less important stuff. It's logic, man. It's hard to, like, how can I don't know how to explain it. It's like people are like, you're always on the dev side, you're always on this and that, bro. It's just, you know what I mean. It's logical. What they say makes sense. It's logical. You know what I mean. Like, what to work on, the most important thing first, seems logical. You know what I mean. Them stating that, hey, this isn't Warband 2, this is Bannerlord, and following up on previous statements, it's logical. It makes sense because that's what they've said. That's what they've, said before. But yeah, the whole how can I explain it? This statement, but at the same time, in what world can a company of 100 people not be able to commit to offering the same features of a company that 10 people managed 10 years ago? Look, dog, it's hard to make a classic. It's hard to make a second. Okay, look. How can I explain this? In the best way possible, but people are probably still going to disagree. Let's take, for example, somebody making a hit song, right? A hit song, you know what I'm saying? It hits number one on Billboard, number one where it needs to hit number one. It goes double platinum, it goes diamond in like 5 years, you know what I mean? It does its thing. And let's say, okay, so that song goes diamond, right? The artist then, do you think since he made that song go diamond, do you think that all his songs after that will just go diamond? You know what I mean? Like, he found the formula and then boom, he you know what I'm saying? That's it. maybe this is not the best example. What I'm trying to say is, Warband was a classic. I think it was an amazing game. It was all through and through was an amazing game. You know what I mean? I didn't even play it to its completion like some people did, but I still think it is very, very solid game, right? And obviously the hype was there. You know what I mean? The hype was there. People thought Bannerlord was going to be boom, boom, this, and that. You know, they were just thinking of all the stuff in their fantasy. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff in their head, like, oh, it's going to be this, da, 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 da. You know what I mean? And people were disappointed. You know what I mean? I agree. I was disappointed on some things as well. I never said I wasn't. But you know, the whole concept of like, oh, well, now you have 100 people instead of 10. Like, how can you have made it, you know, worse in my eyes? Again, stuff is up for, you know, discussion. Depends what you see worse in this and that. Second of all, the game's not even done yet. You know what I mean? It's not fully done yet. All the mods aren't there yet. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it a stack with you. A lot of people who play Warband nowadays play modded Warband. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when people compare, what's it called? Bannerlord to Warband, they always, you know, in their head, when they think of how good Warband was, they also think about the mods, and they also think about the DLCs, and they also think about, you know, it being a finished game with all. So it's just not the best comparison right now. When all is said and done, and Bannerlord is fully out, you know, you have everything, you know, you know what I mean. You have all the, you know, the mods, all the good mods that came out. You have, you know, DLC, all that. Then we can make this comparison. But just like comparing it right now when it's still being worked on to a game that's been fully finished for so many years, it's had countless mods, it's had countless additions to the game, it's not the best way to really, you know, compare it, in my opinion. I don't think it's the best time to compare it. So, yeah. That's the best way I can state it. But let me see. Spoiler: the trap has been set. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything because people were trying to tell me like, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. People try to like be like, oh, the main poster, you know, he just did. I'm not gonna. I'll stop talking. Here's all I have to say. Game's not done yet. I think there's we can obviously say, oh, Warband's better. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that Warband is right now that Bannerlord is not because of time. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, game's not finished yet. Big mods have not come out for this game yet. You know what I mean? DLC has not come out for this game yet. And comparing that to a game that came out and has all those things is kind of silly, in my opinion. Other than that, you know, hopefully you enjoyed my commentary of it, like always. And I will see you in the next one. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you disagree on. Let me know why you... I remember the previous video someone said, this is the worst channel ever. Then got on his other account. This is the worst channel ever. Then got on his other account. Let me like this. Dog, I can see when you using different accounts that are to the same person. I hope you know that, man. For all you guys who try to like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. Listen, don't take these videos too seriously. It's a discussion. We talk about stuff. You know what I mean? Don't be so upset. Don't take it so to heart. And, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.